Hi folks, what we're working on now with the Santa and the tree, we're working on this back portion. So what we want to do is extend this out a little bit further. We're going to be cutting this portion out to about, just about there. So I'm just going to show you a couple things that you can do offline. You don't have to follow me here, but just simply put a stop cut in, like so. Alright. And then what you want to do, if you want to lay it on a table, that's fine. Just chop that out. Okay, and this is what we're going to be cutting out the whole, the whole way through. So that will take a little bit of time for me to do. Trying to cut all that out, and that's just a matter of. And I might be using my other little gouge here that I've had for a while, with that large sweep to it. Oh, it was here. Yeah, it's here. Hang on just a second here. This comes in real handy for cutting out things like this. You can just kind of get down there to the edge and then redefine your line again. Here again, I want to just re-emphasize something for you, is the fact that you should be real careful when you cut anything in that deep, that you don't start, when you make this line, that it's not going to be dug in this way when you cut it. When you cut that line, it should be flush and straight going down and around, okay? If you go in too far, you're going to dig into the tree. It's better to go out a little bit and then redefine it later on. Alright, so this is a typical stop cut if you're not familiar with it. And it's just a matter of taking a line down, taking your tool and cutting it out like so. Okay. I also want to tell you real quick, we have an indoor flea market at the mall that I work at, and they had some really neat deals there. They have a lot of vendors in there. I think about 30 or 40 right now in Morgantown. And if you haven't been there, go take a look if you're in the area. And they had a neat bandsaw there that I saw that was only $35, and I'll give you what it was. It was a Delta 28-185. It uses a 56 1/8 inch length blade. I got it for 35 bucks, folks. So if you're looking for a bandsaw, you don't have to get a brand new one. You can get a used one. Just make sure it's a reputable make, like a Delta, or a Grizzly is okay too. But most of them, they hold up really well for long periods of time. I was surprised to find one. My big one at the farm is a Delta, and I've had that almost 30 years, I'd say, or 25 at least. Probably longer than that. I probably had that about 28 or 29 years. So what we're doing is we're just cutting this out. But if you look for a bargain, you can really find one. And I bought the blade at Lowe's for like 8 bucks. So I have that downstairs. I don't have to do everything out in the barn when I need to cut a few little things. And that's great for a small project, for like maybe anything under 2 inches thick. You can put a 1/8 blade in there. You can also put a 1/4 thick blade in there as well, or 3/8. So look around. eBay had them, but they were almost $100 to have them shipped. Then you can just get a new one at Lowe's for $114. They had a skilled one there. But if you're interested in a bandsaw and you're brand new to this, it's a perfect little machine and it's so compact. It's a tabletop one. So you don't need to buy anything really big. Like I said, I'm a big believer in just buying what you need at the time. And if it's something really huge, you'll find somebody in a club or something that can cut it up for you. Alright, so anyway, what I did with that, we want to do is we want to cut all this out. Alright? The other thing we want to do is I was slicing this out further and around, more of a 3D effect, and pushing this face in a little further. And so I kept redefining that line. So those are the two things that I wanted to show you, was you can cut some of that out, and I cut it out a little bit on top of the nose, like a little, this was a little deeper. The nose is sticking out underneath that cap. Alright, so I'm going to stop there with that portion. What we're going to do is go down here to the arms, and we're going to extend this out a little further here where the arms are. And we're just going to chop that out all the way up. So, alright, we're going to blend that down a little bit. We can do that. I just cut that off a little bit more and round that up. And then what I did was I followed this out and around, all the way around. And then I'm starting to cut underneath on both sides to have the arms look like they're in front of the rope. Okay, and we're going to do the feet here too. Let's start on that. We're going to start sticking these feet out a little further, just like we did with the hobo. We're just going to start cutting out. Now that design that's on there, if we lose some of that, it's not critical. It's not hard to recopy what those are. We're just going to go over here and we're just going to cut some of this out. Alright, I'm going to just use this little gouge here and just take a little piece out here and there. And again, make sure your gloves are on and stuff. I take very little chips out, simply because I don't want to be slipping off this thing. Alright, so we're going to go back. We're going to make another pass of it at a stop. Okay, I'm going to push this over just a tad here. Alright, same thing over here. I'm going to do the same thing. And we're going to start. Well, this grain is running this way, so you have to be mindful how that's running. So I'm going to just chop some of this off underneath the arm here. And you want to be careful not to push too hard that you run that blade into your arm up in the hand area there. That's going to come out a little further yet anyway, so just kind of round that up on either side. I'll do this side, you can do the other side while you're offline. It's going to be identical to this side. You know, you're going to cut this all the way up, and then you're going to cut each side up. I'll be right back.